let's talk about Christianity and cultural engagement. So there have been many different cultural historical periods throughout history. You can think of the medieval era, the Enlightenment era, and things like that. We've also had a traditional period, the modern era, a postmodern era, and now we're in something else. And this something else has been called things like postmodernism, which is not a great term, and metamodernism, which I think is a much better term. Each of these periods are, of course, shaped by their own philosophical, theological, cultural, artistic, political, etc. ideas. Each has different events happening in them as well. Now, in the postmodern era, there was a lot of deconstruction and a lot of attempting to break things down for various different reasons and rhetorical goals. There was also a lot of insincerity, irony, and these other things that marked the sort of postmodern era. Now, there are some good things to take away from this era. It's not all bad, like a lot of people will make it out to be when they're engaging with the kind of philosophy and other things that come from this era. However, I think one of the problems with this constant deconstruction, constant insincerity, and irony is that we don't take things seriously, and we've made things like truth, beauty, transcendence, meaningless. I think this is one of the contributing factors to something called the meaning crisis, which we are experiencing, in which a vast amount of people, possibly more than ever, do not have meaning in their lives for a number of reasons. Now, again, I think postmodernism has some blame to take for that, because that deconstruction of meaning itself and transcendence and the kind of higher things that people found meaning in contributed to that. It destroyed some of those concepts, and so people are left to kind of be aimless. There is no reconstruction, certainly not any reformation. However, this has changed because we are in a new era, the meta-modern era, in which people want a spirituality. They want meaning and transcendence and deep things and truth and beauty. They want to say that these things are real and that they have value. There is a crisis of meaning because this thing that people need and have, that a lot of people believe to be real, they don't have. Now, in relation to Christianity and particularly ministry, I think ministry could really latch on to the fact that we are under a meaning crisis. Christianity of various denominations from various different thinkers and so on have the tools necessary to produce those feelings of meaning, beauty, spirituality, transcendence, truth, these other things. So I think a ministerial engagement with current culture could be an attempt to bring these things back into people's lives, which a lot of people feel like they do not have. I think a practical way Christian ministry can do this, and I'm really looking at Protestants here, is by deepening their rootedness in tradition and ritual. The higher church tradition, like Lutherans and Anglicans and so on, a lot of people see that they have that beauty and truth and transcendence, the ritual, the meaning, all of that sort of stuff. But some of the low church Protestant stuff doesn't. And at least for me as a churchgoer and for many other people, that absence is really felt. I think this also contributes to why a lot of people leave Protestantism and go to Roman Catholicism or Eastern Orthodoxy, because they find that beauty and truth and the ritual and all of that, which a lot of churches in Protestant circles, at least it's felt that those things are absent. Now, this does leave open some questions, so a meta-modern kind of framework wants to take into account some of the things from the past historical periods and also move beyond them at the same time. And so to what extent do you say take some of these truths from Christianity or Christian tradition, and to what extent do you move beyond them into something bigger or grander to some extent, is definitely a discussion to be had. And I'm not entirely sold on some iterations of meta-modern Christianity, for example, that have been proposed by people. That said, though, I definitely think rootedness in church tradition and ritual can help Christians, and particularly Protestant Christians and Protestant ministry, engage in the meaning crisis and help bring these things back into people's lives. That said, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and make sure you follow me for more content like this.